Hey everybody, Bob Haskins here. Let's get ready for another 2-minute motivational drill. This week, I want to focus on the characteristics of being a leader, or even the character that you look for all leaders to hold. Now, when we talk about character, character is not something that you do. Rather, character is something that you are. If you wouldn't mind, take a second. Think about someone who you look up to as a leader. Who is someone in your life that has great leadership qualities, or someone that you have admired? It might be someone that affects you directly, or someone even throughout the history books that you just look up to. Now, what characteristics, what traits, what values do they have? There was a study that was done by two men. The first man was James Kuzig, and the second one was Barry Posner. And what these two men did is they looked around and asked 75,000 people over 6 continents the basic question of, when you look for a good leader, what traits, values, and characteristics do you look for? Now, the results are actually astonishing because it did not matter the age of the people, the demographics of the people, or even the location of the people around the 6 continents of the world. The answer came back, or the number one answer that came back was universal. And that answer was honesty. When we think about it, I'm just even musing on who did I think were good leaders? Well, let's look at Abraham Lincoln. He was known as Honest Abe. Or George Washington, who was known as the man who could not tell a lie. Or even Jesus, who people said there was nothing false about this man. Now, you might think that this characteristic of honesty, it does not occur in one setting. It actually occurs over time. Because honesty is not making just one singular choice, but it's a lifetime of decisions. I have a story that kind of goes along with that. I had a buddy of mine named Brian. And Brian, when he was young in his 20s, he really wanted to get married. But he also loved being a high school teacher. And he realized there really wasn't a whole lot of money in that profession. So what he used to do was to get these big 5-gallon water tubs that you would get, you turn them upside down for the water machines. Well, anyway, he would collect the empty ones of those. And whenever he would have some change, he would just go ahead and throw it in there. So, if you went to the grocery store or ate out for pizza or had to get change in any manner, it didn't matter. The change was going directly in that 5-gallon tub. The funny thing was, even when his friends were over, he would say, "Hey, have any change?" And sure enough, we would even donate to that as well. Now, over time, when I say time, I mean years, Brian was able not to fill up 1 or 2, but 3 of these 5-gallon water jugs. I know, because I had to help him move. And carrying a full one of those filled with change was really heavy. Well, anyway, he kept doing this over time and time and time. And finally, he met a girl, fell in love with her, and decided that she was the one. And sure enough, it was time for him to cash this in. Well, all said and told, by the time he emptied out those 5-gallon water jugs, which he had been filling for years, he had roughly $3,000 worth of change. And that went in to getting his fiance's ring. Now, to me, that is a great model of how to live with honesty. It wasn't just one decision, but it was a lifetime of decisions, or decisions over a long period of time, that create that trait of honesty. So here's the drill. Kind of 3 parts. The first part is, when you're looking for leaders, make sure that they have integrity. Make sure that they have honesty. Follow that survey by those 75,000 people across the 6 continents. Make sure they have honesty and they are people with integrity. Second, I would argue that all of us are all leaders. So in that aspect, if we are all leaders of whatever area where we lead, we should act with honesty as well. That should be a leading trait where people would go to us. Hopefully people come up to me and say, "Hey Bob, we believe that you are an honest guy." What a great thing to be able to say. And third, just remember the phrase that honesty is not a simple one-time choice, but it's a lifetime of decisions. So I encourage you with that to go out to find honest people to follow and to be honest yourself. This is Bob Paskins for the 2-Minute Motivational Drill, encouraging you to engage in life, to let your light shine, and to be a champ. Thanks, everybody.